Istanbul is full of amazing places to visit, but here are the 5 most famous places you can't miss. Maybe some of you who have traveled to Istanbul will disagree with me, and maybe my choice of number 5 will surprise you a bit. But I've traveled a lot, and I've not only traveled but actually lived in Istanbul for years. So I think my choices for the top 5 are simply obvious. Number 1 is the Hagia Sophia. The Hagia Sophia is the symbol of mystical Istanbul. The oldest icon of the city, it was the largest cathedral in the world for almost 1,000 years, although it spent some of those years not as a cathedral but as a mosque. The building is filled with symbols, golden angels, mythical figures, intricate Islamic calligraphy, the names of God, which have been at times revealed or covered depending on the prevailing religion and politics of the time. Most interesting is how the building itself is a permanent fixture of the city, but always changing as a symbol. It changed from a cathedral to a mosque when the city was conquered by the Turks. It changed again from a mosque to a public museum when the secular republic was founded. And in recent years it has been redesignated as a mosque and active place of worship, as the Turkish government and public are becoming increasingly Islamic. In this way, it's a perfect symbol of the city. Like the sea at the heart of the city, the Hagia Sophia is always changing, but always the same. At the time I'm recording this, the Hagia Sophia is open 24 hours a day, so I suggest visiting late at night, if possible, to feel the quiet spirit of peace and contemplation this holy site was originally intended to give. Number 2 is the Blue Mosque. The Blue Mosque is the symbol of artistic Istanbul. Outside, it's the most outstanding example of Ottoman architecture. This architecture style is based on the patterns of the most famous Turkish architect, Mimar Sinan, although the mosque was built after his lifetime. Inside, the mesmerizing patterns and colors of the Iznik tile work are a feast for the eyes. Iznik tile is that classic blue and white pattern, painted tile, with kaleidoscope motifs of feathers and flowers. Many English speakers call this the Blue Mosque, although its proper name is the Sultan Ahmed Mosque. Like the Hagia Sophia, this mosque is an active place of worship, which means it's free for entrance. I suggest visiting as early as possible in the morning to avoid the crowds and enjoy the sensation of massive space inside the mosque. The morning light illuminating the tile work through the mosque's 260 windows rewards the early bird. Number 3 is Topkapı Palace. Topkapı Palace is the symbol of historical Istanbul. Topkapı Palace is a museum of museums, a collection of collections, a huge complex with building after building, room after room, filled with clothes, manuscripts, weapons and armor, jewels, and religious artifacts. This giant palace complex was built shortly after the Turks conquered Constantinople. It's impressive from the outside, but like the Blue Mosque, it's what's inside that takes the breath away. I suggest allowing most of your day to visit Topkapı Palace. You won't want to hurry, and you will certainly be tired by the time you've seen as much of it as possible. Number 4 is the Galata Tower. If there is one single icon of Istanbul, it's the Galata Tower. In a city so massive and crowded, it's hard to find a center. Imagine arguing if the center of New York City was in Manhattan or Brooklyn. However, the Galata Tower makes a clear case that the Beyoğlu neighborhood is the center of this metropolis. Don't miss the opportunity to climb the tower for an unbeatable 360-degree view of the city. I especially suggest visiting this location if you're traveling with a romantic partner. One local legend says that if you kiss the person you love at the top of the tower, it will bring good luck and longevity to your relationship. Number 5, the last, is the Bosphorus Ferry. The Bosphorus Strait is in the heart of Istanbul. She's cold and dark in her beauty. But the sea is more than just the blood running through the city's veins. It's the skeleton giving her form and structure, literally and figuratively. The Bosphorus is a natural beauty, covered in industrial traffic. There are many Bosphorus cruises available, and they're certainly enjoyable. But to get a true experience of the city, I suggest taking the public ferry from the European to the Asian side and back again. By experiencing how the Bosphorus becomes part of public transport, you will get a delicious taste of daily life in Istanbul.